Welcome back to Game Galaxy, and today we're talking about the Wii U version of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So I just spent the whole day playing the Wii U version of The Legend of Zelda, and I have to say, I was really curious how this game was going to turn out, but I wasn't overly hyped for it. I went and picked it up because I knew my wife would like playing it. But I have to say, how did I like it? I was unexpectedly amazed at how much I fell in love with it and how much I liked it. Now I will say this, when I first loaded it up, I was extremely critical of the graphics. I was like, wow, there's a lot of jaggies here. And I even said, I was like, it's 2017, there's no reason we should have jaggies around our main character. But really quickly, once you start playing, you get over that and you just get used to it. And this art style really lends itself to less graphical power since it's that cel-shaded look. So I'm not much of a graphics whore, it really doesn't matter to me. But it is something I noticed. But graphics aside, as soon as you begin the game, you're struck immediately with a sense of wonder and a call for adventure. You're surrounded by lush greenery and you hear the wind, birds chirping, and sounds of nature that really set the mood and tone without any music, and it's extremely immersive. The sound design in Breath of the Wild is truly breathtaking, and my face lit up immediately as soon as I was playing because I was immediately reminded of one of my favorite games, and that's Shadow of the Colossus. It gives that same mood and tone of you just out in this world full of mystery, and it truly is a fully open world Zelda game. If you see some hills that interest you off in the distance, you can go there. And let me tell you, you're definitely rewarded for exploring every nook and cranny. The game begins with Link awakening from a 100-year sleep, and all I could think of is, can I get some pants? The setting of this world gives me a very ancient early feel mixed with precursor technology, and Link is given a phone-sized PDA tablet called a Sheikah Slate. Link will use that Sheikah Slate to unlock shrines, use it as a map, binoculars, and many other uses. Shortly after you wake up and you just leave that cave, you are just exposed to beautiful greenery and a grand view of the land. After that, you'll meet an old man. Sound familiar? He'll give you 4 trials which basically teach Link to use these ancient runes that give him special powers and abilities. If there's one thing that Breath of the Wild does perfectly, is that to me, it is a perfect recreation of the very original Legend of Zelda game. It's set up the same way, and you can pretty much go anywhere and do anything you like in any order that you want, and in that regard, it's very much like the original Zelda. Combat is pretty much the same refined 3D Zelda-style combat we've been used to since Ocarina of Time, but definitely allows for a bit more freedom. There's one pretty big change though, and that's that weapons degrade and can break. So Link will be picking up all kinds of things to fight off monsters, from pitchforks, spears, and even skeleton arms. I'm sure you'll have to keep juggling weapons around until Link receives the Master Sword. The enemies I've encountered so far have been fun to battle, and I like that there are these mini camps or gatherings of them, and you can sneak up on them and take them out one by using stealth. I almost felt like I was playing Far Cry for a minute, moving around this camp, picking off guys one by one. Link can also climb almost anything as long as his stamina bar doesn't run out, and that was also very reminiscent of Shadow of the Colossus. You can also collect many different plants, fruits, and animals and cook them at campsites to create meals which give you health and many different stat boosts. This is a system I really welcome because not only does it make you feel like you're living and surviving off the land, it's nice to be able to heal yourself of your own accord in a Zelda game beyond keeping fairies in bottles. There is a fantastic real-time weather and day and night cycle which I absolutely love. I also love the way shadows would creep across the ground if a cloud passed in front of the sun. It seems so simple, but it's an extremely dynamic touch and attention to detail. As always, the night is dark and full of terrors in Zelda, so it's best to have Link rest until morning at a campfire, unless you want to deal with the skeleton monsters. All in all, I recommend The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for longtime Zelda fans and new players, or anyone interested in experiencing a great action-adventure game. Personally, I don't think this warrants the need to purchase a Nintendo Switch unless you're gung-ho for that already. The comparisons in terms of visuals between the Switch and the Wii U are negligible, and I've heard that the Switch version actually has more problems with frame rates than the Wii U. The Wii U frame rate is usually at a stable 30 frames per second, but there are times in the forest and other areas that it can bog down a touch. It's not horrible, but it's something that should not bother the avid console gamer. I'll stop there and say I am amazed and surprised how much I'm enjoying playing this. From the time that I've played it so far, I highly recommend it. And for those of you out there that are a little bit skeptic and think Nintendo and Zelda is kiddie, you couldn't be more wrong, because Nintendo are the original creators of the action-adventure genre, and they are just master crafters of giving you that incredible adventure. And it doesn't get much better than a Zelda adventure. So I highly recommend going and picking it up. I personally don't think this warrants the need to buy a Nintendo Switch. I think it's just fine on Wii U. And thank you so much for joining me in this video today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, share it around, and as always, take care.